So listen to me very carefully. Today, I had someone say to me that it is not right to be prospecting during COVID. And I said, why is that? Don't you think if you're doing people a favor by letting people that you are around, even if you're saying, hey, it's business as usual in an unusual way for us in Melbourne, even if you said that, right? Don't you think you owe it to your community if you think you have some value to share, if you have a purpose to call? But then he went on to say, well, no, not in the world that we live in. It's offensive to call people on the following. Get ready. That you don't call people during COVID. You don't call people during December. You don't call people during January. You don't call people during the Easter break. You don't call people during school holidays. When will you actually work then? I mean, that's pretty much 3/4 of the year. With COVID, it's the whole year. When will you actually work? That would be like an employee going into the organization and sort of saying, I'm only going to be working 30% of the hours that I'm supposed to work. When will you work? And then we have real estate agents that say, but Mr. Tom Panos, what time is the best time to call? And what is the best method? Is door knocking or telephone prospecting or emails? Listen, the best time to prospect is right now. End of story. Because you won't do it otherwise. People turn around and they'll just defer it and defer it and defer it. That's the first thing. The second thing is, and write this down, 10 calls before 10 a.m. and 5 calls after 5 is going to be a pretty good habit to have in your life if you're serious about a long-term career in sales. I mean, there's 15 calls already. 10 before 10 and 5 after 5. Great routine to have. And then people say, but what's the best method? Is the telephone dead? The telephone, my friends, is the number one tool in technology over the last 40 years in sales. Nothing beats it. Nothing beats a telephone. And the next thing is, don't underestimate for one moment the power of an early morning call. You know, a lot of winners, a lot of people that have got money, a lot of people that are successful, man, they start early and you can get them before they've got their gatekeepers in front of them. You can get them before they're in face-to-face meetings with people. Try calling people sort of between 7:30 and 8:30. You'll be shocked at the amount of people that you can actually catch. Try it. Don't judge it. Just because you're having Cocoa Pops at 9:30 doesn't mean that someone else is up. Cocoa Pops, do they still make that? Anyway, guys and girls, the other thing I want to say to you, and listen to me very, very carefully, that my experience is that if you keep looking around for answers to when is the best time to call, hey, because I know what it's like. Oh, I'm not going to call, I'm not going to call at lunchtime. I'm not going to call in the afternoon. I'll start tomorrow. I'm telling you straight, prospecting is not rocket science. It is simply the behavior of persistence. And I've got to tell you why you need to have this persistence. Because there's a little voice going on in your head all the time. Because what happens is when you prospect, you get rejection, right? You get rejection because that's the nature of the game. Because rejection is what's going to pay for a good life for you. It's going to pay for a nicer car. It's going to pay for freedom and having financial security and owning investment properties. It's going to pay for good holidays once you can fly again. And if you do, you'll be going business class. So you're going to cop rejection. But what happens is you got this little voice inside your head saying, see, it doesn't work. I've just been rejected. This is not the way it's done anymore, right? That's what actually happens. And you've got this self-fulfilling prophecy where because you've got the little voice that's saying it, and then because it happens, you say, wow, I was right. It doesn't work. So what happens is you psych yourself out of it. Do you understand that maybe what I'm talking about is your problem? That you've actually got no belief in it. But I'm telling you straight, the reason tomorrow that we've got all our gym members and all our 30-day boot campers hooking up from 10 to 11:30 is we're going to do a prospecting blitz, and we are going through who to call, what to say, so you don't sound like you're someone interrupting someone without a purpose. And we're also going to go in and just show you what are the sins that are stopping you from doing what you know is good for you. We're also going to talk about the call reluctance. And by the way, I'm not trying to sell you to come onto the program, because the program now is closed. The people are in, and they're coming in tomorrow because they're getting a half-hour shoot, and then they're going to hit the damn phone. Hit the damn phone. Sooner or later, you're going to have to cross that bridge, and that is you're going to have to accept it. It is your ticket to freedom. The ability on an ongoing basis to have relationships with people who at some point in the future are going to want to list their property with you. And I'm telling you, this remains the most efficient way to do that. Because don't get me wrong, door knocking is okay. You see a house, you go there, but it's just the time return of investment is low overall when you can get through so many phone calls. But in the early stage, getting data might be a door knocking strategy for you if you're totally new and raw into the market. But you can tell I'm passionate about this subject. Why? Because it's really the one subject that separates the 100 Sale Club. The 100 Sale Club are the people who make 100 sales a year. And if you do what I do, and that is talk to these people on an ongoing basis, you will know that the thing that separates them is they seem to have more of those conversations. And yes, they've got a marketing arm to it. And yes, they're probably good at the vendor paid piece. And they're probably good at the social media piece, where they're posting content that is brand building and community focused. But you know what? They simply know that all that works in combination, not in isolation. Emails should not be your prospecting strategy. Now, I know any real estate agent that is running a business that has been a successful agent himself, he's probably thinking to himself, Tom Panos, I say this all the time, and they don't listen to me. Of course they don't listen to you, because they hear it all the time from you. It's like when I say to my kids, wake up, join the 5 a.m. club, and then they don't hear it for 10 years, and then someone says it to them, and they're up, and they've joined it. I said, what are you doing? And they said, oh, I've decided to be an early morning riser. The tennis coach said it's a good idea. Well, I've got to say to you, the problem often is when you hear something over and over and over again from the same person, you actually don't hear it. That's the truth. Anyway, what am I going to say to you? You can tell I'm fired up. So what is the best time to prospect? I can pretty much tell you, if you're going to be doing it in the afternoons, you're probably not going to be doing it. That's the truth, because things get in the way. Most likely be doing it in the morning. Most likely you're going to try and get it done before 11 o'clock, 11:30. And also, can I just share with you that powerful lists equal powerful results. Have a clear group of people that you're going to speak to. That's obviously helped a lot if you've got some sort of electronic filing system, which I call a CRM system. The one I like, and I'm getting more and more passionate about it as I see, the best agents in Australia is Agent Box. But there's others there as well. Don't think to yourself that the CRM system's going to do the work. Hey, listen, CRM systems, they all work. They need humans to work them. Humans rarely work them. That's the truth. a little bit like diets. Anyway, guys and girls, I'm signing off. To all the gym members, boot campers, see you tomorrow at 10 o'clock. Get a good night's sleep. Why? Because prospecting's energy.